Record. Welcome to another grill session slash podcast interview brought to you by Nexus, the AI Hub. We had to bring back Diana, the GOAT, man. Diana was dropping so many gems on our last episode, so we had to bring her back and just recap with her and get some of her expert insight. Because, like I said, she's one of the GOATs in AI space. How you doing, Diana? How you feeling?
Hey, Wildred. I am happy to be back and really excited about AI. It's an ever evolving landscape. It's not really a topic anymore. It's more of a landscape, and it's changing all landscapes for sure.
Man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Whew. This we got a lot to cover, but hopefully we can try to condense it to a 30-minute segment. But so just for the viewers that are new, in our last interview, you mentioned how currently you're working in a healthcare department and helping out with communications and whatnot. I just wanted to get like what's like the morale, what's like the status? Are there more or less people talking about AI, using AI? Like what's the morale like these days going on?
I think the only space that of enthusiasts who are really for AI is actually online. If you
Mm,
were to physically be in a room and you would ask the question, who is optimistic about AI, you probably won't get a lot of hands up yet. This
ah,
is something that is not mainstream, but it is online. And I think it's a sprint. At this point, AI is here. It's
yeah.
very silent only because it's not mainstream. But
Mm,
once it becomes mainstream, it's going to really hit a lot of people in the face because it's going to take over the way we do things, which is going to make some things, easier, more
yeah.
efficient, quicker. But it's going to be a change for sure. So my take is that I was talking about a subject, and we were doing a strategy session about
Mhm,
health outcomes and what we wanted to do for our community. And I pull out ChatGPT so that I can organize all my thoughts. And I wanted to
mhm.
create an objective. And I put in the information. I told ChatGPT, I want you to do this for me. And out popped out an amazing objective. I had to tweak it. Of course, you can't just rely on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But the people next to me were like, what is happening? And so one was a little bit more like it was alien to her, but then I received a very different energy from the other person who was very against AI, and so that was my first experience with that type of mindset.
Oh, you know, I just think, like we said before, I've been in the AI space just learning about everything in December and just seeing all the advancements that, it's now like currently July as we're recording this.
Yeah.
It's just so shocking and like like my mind is like getting blown as you talking, like just hearing that people still have that reaction, like you said it hasn't hit mainstream, but as you know, like you've been in this for so long, you feel like I feel like once you've been in something so long, you feel like everybody else knows about it. Like. So it's like
Yes.
amazing to me still today, like you just said, you pulled out Chat GBT to do a quick task, and there are people like, oh my God, still, and there are still people that are like, get that thing away from me. Like that's just like mind blowing, like and just crazy to me at this point.
And I have to remember where they got that from, because even though AI is not mainstream,
Mhm.
it is in Hollywood.
Mm,
And it was funny because of that table, the thing that was brought up, and I never saw this movie, but somebody mentioned Megan. So Megan
mm,
is an artificial intelligence robot, um,
yeah.
featured, that character in a movie,
Mm,
who was very overprotective of her person, and
Mm.
so it like Thriller. So I think Hollywood has not helped AI, but I also think that right now businesses, the whole business landscape is changing because of
Oh yeah.
AI, because businesses are investing in AI. So I know that 9 out of 10 experts are saying that business is going to shift to more of
Hmm.
AI being a prominent feature in their business.
Yeah.
So that once that shifts, and it is doing it right now. There's a huge shift because more businesses are seeing the potential, they're investing in it, and so we're seeing all these tools come out, but
Yeah.
it's going to be even more in the near future. And so now that business is on board, IT is going to be a landscape, another landscape that's going to be totally shifting. And
Hmm.
also other things that we've already seen, like our normal mundane things, like if we are on a dating app,
Hmm.
now AI is going to be a prominent feature on that.
Yeah.
Anywhere from healthcare, finance, agriculture, retail, transport, government, these are
Hmm.
already starting to adopt AI into their operations and
Yeah.
making things more automatic and efficient. But people don't realize that. So whenever
Yeah.
you're chatting with a on a chat, maybe it's for customer care service on your cell carrier, you may be talking to an AI chatbot.
Yeah. And it's so good that you don't even know. That's the thing. And like, I'm
Mhm.
glad you like mentioned this, because whether people know it or not, and I cover all this on my page, like all the biggest tech giants and corporations have invested millions and billions in this technology. Like Microsoft invested billions, Google invested over 100 million, Meta invested 100 million, like
Mhm.
Amazon just invested
Yep.
100 million. Like, and we
Yep.
use all their platforms every single day. So if you don't think AI is going to affect you some way, then I, you're just a fool. I tried not to drop the F word again on the podcast, but you're just a fool. Like, if you don't think AI is going to impact you. So, like, you just have to adapt and you have to
Mhm.
learn. And it's interesting that you brought up the movie Megan because that's actually on my AI watch list. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, um, but I got a few movies that I need to go back and watch on my AI watch list because people was killing me in the comments talking about the Terminator and Megan and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
I literally just seen. I don't know if you heard of a movie called Ex Machina or Ex Machina, whatever. It came out in 2015 and it was a pretty good movie. It was a pretty good movie, but what I realized, like with all the parallels with like the Terminator, Ex Machina, and
Yeah.
Megan, like is literally showing you the bad sides and where it could go wrong,
Yeah.
right? We have
Yeah.
no movies showing us good use cases for AI, So I honestly think that's where it's
Yeah.
gonna start. And you mentioned Hollywood as well. Like there's currently a writer strike and the Hollywood shutdown going
Yep.
on, and
Yes.
I don't know if you want
Yeah.
to touch on that a little bit, but AI is literally already affecting industries as we know it. So, like, what are your quick thoughts about just like the strike and just the writers of Hollywood shutdown?
I think it is a real true story on how a lot of people are going to be shocked on how AI can be very good at certain tasks. And
Hmm.
though I do believe that writing is a gift of the person, it's a wordsmith, um, but you give all that knowledge to an AI, and an AI can learn it.
Hmm.
And I don't believe that it will completely take away the writer's role in creative content when it
Hmm.
comes to movies and all that. But I do believe 100% for the people who are not adapting or shifting, um,
Hmm.
they're going to struggle Because
Yeah.
if there was a writer in that bunch, or there may be, who are seeing this potential and seeing the threats of it, but they're submerging themselves in learning about machine learning and
Yeah.
about prompt engineering, and what tools are out there to enhance their skill. It's an enhancer. It enhances
Yeah.
their skills. Then they would
Hmm.
be an asset. They would
Yeah.
be a vital asset and a leader in that role. But yeah, it's really interesting to see.
Yeah, and what I tell people, unfortunately, business is business, especially in Hollywood. Like, and I feel for my fellow writers and artists and stuff like that. But like you just said, you have to learn how to get behind these new tools like ChatGPT
Mhm.
and learn how you can use it to enhance your own writing. Like,
Yeah,
writing is a gift, but if you can use ChatGPT and train it to write in your own style, then it just saves you so much time. The number one currency I feel like we all, share in this world. So,
yeah.
unfortunately, I don't know if this writer strike is going to come to a good ending just because, AI has
No,
progressed so fast
no.
and, business is business at the end of the day. If I can, get a team of 3 people that know how to use ChatGPT to write me a movie script,
Yeah.
like the hundreds of
Mhm.
writers that I used to have for the series, like I don't need you guys anymore, So my heart goes out to everybody out there on the lines fighting for the writers, and just use these AI tools, all right? Just use these AI tools because like we're literally seeing it like happen and come for like, every industry one by one. And I honestly believe, and like you said, I feel like it's gonna enhance it, but too many people watch Terminator like 30 times and memorize the movie, so they don't get it. But go ahead.
Yes. And so I'm seeing a lot of hustlers
Mm,
really fly with AI.
okay.
For example, if I were a writer in Hollywood and I was in that situation, this could be a great opportunity because there's
Yeah.
so many AI writing tools out there. But not only that, now there is AI website forming tools
Yeah.
out there. So if it were me, I would create my own site, and
Yeah.
with the speed of AI, I would start creating my own content. I would
Yep.
partner with other video producers and say, let's build something together. And then you
Yeah.
can monetize that and it be yours and it be protected. You can copyright on that. And you can have all the restrictions kind of lifted because in Hollywood you're
Hmm.
following a certain criteria and a
Yep.
brand, but when it's your own, you have more liberty to
Yeah.
create something more your own, unique, and your style.
Hmm.
And so I think that's what I mean as enhancing. You can take these tools, and so a lot of people who are side hustlers and have that drive and that grit, they're
Yeah.
seeing the potential. And the individuals who are more best practices by the book, it just takes a little bit adapting, and it's a learning
Yeah.
curve for sure. Like, but these tools are so good for speeding the process of creativity. That's really what it is. It's one own creativity. Um, it generated way faster than we would normally take. So maybe 30 times faster.
Yeah. I don't mean to, throw my fortune teller hat on, but the green screen won't allow it today. But literally, when I first used ChatGPT in December, my first
Mhm.
idea was I wanted to see if it could write a movie script, right? And I gave it a plot, and the plot was like write a movie script about AI researchers in a jungle figuring out how AI is going to save humanity. And the script was fire. I was like trying to like look for Steven Spielberg, like James Cameron. I'm like, yo, this script is fire. And like I wanted to push ChatGPT to the test. I was like, all right, this script was cool, but make me a sequel. And boom, whole sequel came out. I was like, oh my God. So like that was literally one of my first like mind blowing moments back in December using ChatGPT. So I seen this coming like
Yeah.
from a mile away. So like you said, you just got to be a hustler. You got to be a lifetime learner. You got to just learn how to adapt and just use like the stuff that's here in front of us. But just transitioning from that, we're more than past, I would say, like the halfway mark since ChatGPT launched in December. Um, how are you feeling? Just about like AI. Like, I feel like when you first get into
Mhm.
AI, it's such a rush to figure out all the tools. It's such a rush to figure out like
Yeah,
what's going on. But like
yeah, for sure.
being in a space for as long as you've been, like, how are you feeling? Like, do you have your tool set? You're just your go to, or like just what is your overall feeling so far?
Yeah. I don't think that I've been in the space long enough, but I feel like so much has happened in a short amount of time since
Yeah.
OpenAI came online that it feels like a long time. But
Hmm.
the tools that I use daily is ChatGPT, of course,
Hmm.
to create some content. And so this, I use it as my tone enhancer, and just
Mm,
to make sure my content is readable for social media, because I do manage social media platforms for public health. And public health is kind of like eerie waters because of the pandemic, and public
yeah.
trust is down. And so I want to be able to communicate human to human to somebody else.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, I ask artificial intelligence, but I make sure that when it's creating content for me or helping me create content, we're collaborating and collaborating with it in the
Hmm.
tone, because I want to make sure that it comes off as genuine, because it's coming from a real genuine person for sure. Another
Yeah.
tool that I use every day is called GrowthWorks. And so
Mm,
GrowthWorks is actually a content creating tool. Now, this is something that I've had for a while now, for a year.
okay.
So it's best practices. You have your target audience, you have your your content, and you just kind of bring it all together to create a roadmap on what you want to do. But the creator, Aaron Fletcher, he decided to plug in AI with it. So now my software has AI capabilities. So something that took me a month to do, a strategy, now it takes me 30 seconds. And it's
Nice.
really great because I'm able to use that and create assets for public health. And so it's maximized so many things. And I think I'm kind of treading even further, because
Mm,
psychology is TikToks are trending, Reels are trending, Instagram is trending. And so
yeah.
I'm using that content and I'm creating Reels with it. And so
Okay.
AI is even helping me with that production and creating. And so one person managing a district, um, that would be very unrealistic if I were to do everything
Yeah.
manually. But with AI, it's made it very possible. And so it's just packaging information, repackaging into something that's more relatable to people on mobile device. But that's what I use. And to get my news is
Hmm.
Kaltura. Kaltura is still my force when it comes to AI news. And
Hmm.
I have several AI writing tools. And
Mm,
there is a space called AppSumo
mm,
and PitchGround, and also Warrior. Um, I'll have to get back to you with the name, but all these
yeah.
are software marketplaces
Mm,
where companies come and say, I'm going to pre launch my software onto these marketplaces. And so these marketplaces are for solopreneurs, they're entrepreneurs, they're startups looking for their software gym. And so you can go to these
okay.
places and you can find AI software gems. And I cannot tell you how much this knowledge has helped me out, because I've found podcast AI gems. I have
Yeah.
found audiobook AI gems. I have found AI news audio it's just like it's really great, but just
Yeah.
the amount that keep coming in, and it's amazing because you can hit them before they reach the main market, and by the time they reach the main market, their subscription, so you are able
Yeah.
to get in at a lifetime price. And so I really suggest people, especially hustlers, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, to really like check these places out. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I feel like, there's always something happening in AI. Even when you think it's like a slow week, there's always something happening. And like, ever since I've been in the space, there was like a new AI tool for this, there's a new AI tool for that, and being the ADHD learner I am, I was being pulled all over the place trying to learn every single tool. But my advice, and I'm pretty sure you agree with this as well, is like, for every solopreneur, entrepreneur, or just person that's trying to get into AI,